Good afternoon, LeBron. Chris Parker, The Guardian. You got 16 shots in the paint, 22 shots outside the paint. You hit 11 of them in the paint, 7 of them outside. Do you need to get more shots in the lane, and what can you do to do that?
I'm going to continue to mix it up. Whatever, the defense or the game presents itself, I'll be ready to adjust. I play both inside and outside, and I like to keep the defense off balance.
CBS 19, you're back. This team is back in the situation where you don't know Kyrie's status again. How confident are you that somebody else, one or two of your teammates, will be able to do what they did in previous rounds?
Well, the good thing about it, we've been in this position before. If he's not able to go, we're not quite sure right now. But if he's not able to go, it's something that's not it's not new to us. So next man up, and the guys will be ready for the challenge.
Dave McMenamin, ESPN.com. I was just talking to JR, and he was talking about your last shot in regulation, and you're kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't. And people used to criticize you for not taking that shot, and now you take it in rhythm, and people criticizing you for that as well. What do you think of the look, and does that matter to you, how they analyze your shot selection?
Well, I mean, when you take a shot and you miss, you have so many different thoughts in your mind of saying, okay, well, I should have did this or I should have did that. When you take a shot and you make it, there's really nothing else to think about. But, for me, I got to a spot where I'm comfortable making a shot, step back going left. It's a shot that I'm very capable of making, obviously, in rhythm, which I was, and it just didn't go down for me. I really don't hear the criticism and things of that nature because I don't read anything, I don't see anything, I don't watch anything. So, that stuff really, it never gets to me really, so it doesn't bother me at all.
Chris?
Chris Haynes, Cleveland.com. 2 questions, Brian. The Warriors have talked about, Harrison Barnes, Iguodala talked about, they're okay with you getting your points as long as everybody else is not, getting theirs. How do you combat that? And number 2, why the early workout?
Well, we still had a chance to win. And guys, myself, Kyrie, Mozzie, we did a good job of putting points on the board, and every addition that we had, was big for us. We got to do a better job, obviously, of getting guys involved, but at the same time, we put ourselves in position to win. And to answer your second question, it's not early. It's not early at all.
Next one right here in the center.
LeBron, Josh Weir from the Canton Repository. Going back to that last shot in regulation, when you're going through the decision whether to drive or to take the shot like that, at the end of a game, when you go into the lane and there's congestion, do you sometimes look more for the jump shot because you can get that look clean? Whereas if you go into the lane, it seems like other things can happen. Obviously, whether that way you can ensure to get the shot off if you're taking the jumper.
Well, I don't predetermine what I'm gonna do. I get to a spot where I'm very comfortable with, and I drive, or I've made game winners on jumpers. I've made game winners on layups. So I don't really predetermine what I'm gonna do. It's just the shot that I was very comfortable with going left presented a step back. For me. And that's just going against, or going with, and things that I'm confident with making. So, it's not like I'm predetermined when I'm coming out of the huddle saying, okay, I'm going to drive, or I'm going to shoot. It's just the rhythm I'm in.
Brian, back right.
Brian Mahoney, Associated Press. LeBron, I know injury is part of the game, but for you personally, you've gotten to the finals a few times, going back to your first time in Cleveland when one of your most important players was, below 100% and couldn't be himself. Do you get discouraged that this keeps sort of happening at this time of year?
Well, it's a few things that you would love to have going late in the season. Like being healthy, having a great rhythm, and then you need a little luck as well. And, we've had a great rhythm. We haven't had much luck, and we haven't been healthy. Discouraged, I understand the moment that I'm in, and I'm not too much worried about the game. I'm worried about the moment. I'm happy with the moment. I'm excited to be in this moment once again, and I'm gonna stay strong for my team, no matter who is or not in the lineup.
Joe in the front.
LeBron, Joe Barton, Cleveland.com. You've been in this situation, not only, of course, in these playoffs, losing Game 1, but throughout your career, losing Game 1 of the finals. Can you take us through just sort of the mindset when you lose a Game 1 and what you have to fight through to get ready for Game 2?
No, it's not a great feeling for sure. Didn't get much sleep last night. Just so many. You just play. Your mind just play with you so much. You know, throughout the course of the night, different plays, different scenarios. You know, different points of the game. Where you could have made a play here, you could have made a play there to help your team win. So the mind it never lets you at ease. So it's always a tough 24 or 48 or whatever case, how many hours it is. And but at some point you get to the film room, which I've already started, and you start to prepare yourself mentally on what needs to be done going into Game 2.
Bill over here.
Bill Livingston, plain dealer. LeBron, it looks like sort of following up what Haynes asked, that they'll let you have 40, and you would prefer to pass. How do you deal with that? And also, do you think Shump Shop is in at the buzzer?
First of all, you can't let me have 40.
Correct. Correct.
Yeah.
They'll be happy to give up.
Yeah, you don't let me have 40. I go get 40. It's not like they're just getting out of the way. So, you know, those guys tell me, "Oh, we okay with letting him have 40." You're not letting me get 40. I'm making those shots. And from my angle, it did look like it had a great chance of going in, and it just didn't fall.
Do last three. Mark, Jay, and then the center.
Mark Schwartz, ESPN. LeBron, Draymond remembers when he was a rookie the first time I think he faced you when you were at the Heat, 2012. There was a play in the post that you kind of abused him and you said, "You're too small." He said that motivated him to this day. He still thinks about it. Do you remember the moment, and what do you think of the way he's evolved since that moment in his rookie year?
Well, if you know Draymond, he started the trash talking first in that game. I'm not much of a trash talker, but he started it first his rookie year. So don't let him try to start up a story on why he's motivated because I said something. He started it, and I finished it.
Jay?
Ron, Jay Adade, ESPN. What's your point of view on the Warriors' defense and how they're approaching you? And when you survey the court, what are you seeing?
Well, they had different. They mixed it up last night. You know, sometimes they didn't dig in the post. Sometimes they let me play one-on-one. Sometimes Bogut was over on the tilt and brought two defenders. They switched sometimes on pick and roll. Sometimes they went under. So they're giving me everything. They're not just giving me one steady dosage of we're going to just let him play. No, that's what they want to get out to you guys, but that's not what's happening. So, yeah, I mean, I see it all throughout the course of the game. They've given me different matchups, just trying to keep me off balance. But I've seen it all, and I got to do a better job as well as getting my other guys involved. You know, and you know, I'm okay with getting big numbers and things of that nature, but I feel much better when I'm able to get my guys in rhythm and some more looks. So, you know, I think one of the things is trying to stay at home on a lot of my shooters. They didn't give James Jones much airspace. JR got a couple good looks, just didn't go down. He had one where Kyrie kind of failed. He hit it to him. He had a three. He had one in the corner in overtime that kind of went up the side of the backboard, but he's capable of making that shot. So, you know, we got to get those guys involved as well.
Last one in the center.
LeBron, Sal Castaneda, KTVU. I know that you like to not take as many shots and distribute to your team. And you just said that. How are you going to get that done?
You just go play the game. Just go play the game and see where it takes you. You know, sometimes it's not rocket science. You go out and see what, you know, the challenges in the game presents itself. At the end of the day, I've been playing basketball for a long time, and you know, I've seen it all. No matter what the circumstances is, you go out, play as hard as you can, and you live with the results.
Thanks, LeBron. Thank you, everyone.